Have you ever stood in the kitchen and opened the refrigerator just before dinner time and thought, I have no idea what to make? You're not alone. Today I'll show you one of my favorite anti-inflammatory meals. It's quick, it's full of foods that help fight inflammation, and you don't have to be a great cook to make it. So let's get started. It's going to be a Moroccan beet carrot salad with some wonderful spices on it. I'm going to start with the grain. I have a little bit of brol, B-R-O-L. This is a mixture of barley, rye, oats, and lentils that I cooked ahead of time. I put them in the freezer, and when I need them, it's a quick grain and lentil that you can add to a meal. I will be adding a little bit of water to it. Really all I want to do is steam it, warm it. But if it cooks a little longer, these are grains and they'll be fine. They can tolerate a little extra cooking. So let's just get started. The beets and carrots get grated, and I'm not going to spend any time doing that. We're going to put it in the food processor. All right. I mentioned that beets and carrots are highly anti-inflammatory foods. They are, and beets, especially with their deep red color, they have a way of increasing blood flow to things like the brain and the heart. So they're especially good when you're trying to increase blood flow to the brain and the heart so that they work better. I just put them through my food processor, and they, it doesn't really matter if they're both put through at the same time because they're going to be mixed in here anyway. So I wanted to add raisins. So add to the carrots and the beets. So carrots are mostly an anti-inflammatory food that's really going to be good for the eyes. Anything that's orange, red, yellow, those things tend to really have a lot of vitamin A, and they're very high in antioxidants and really good for the eyes. The beets, on the other hand, we talked about for the heart, brain, anything that needs better blood flow. When you're trying to really compete with exercise, you could really use a lot of beets, and dark leafy greens will also open up your blood vessels, get better oxygen to different parts of your body, including your heart. Those are ones to keep in mind if you're just exercising and you want more blood flow to something. And then we're going to set that aside. Now, we're going to make the dressing. The dressing is a combination of lime, in this case. Doesn't have to be lime. I'm using lime because that's what I have. But I believe the actual recipe, which is from simply.com. I think these are small. I'm going to do 2 of them. All right, so it takes about 2 tablespoons of this lemon or lime juice. I'll just put the 2 tablespoons in there. Now, when you make this recipe, you may decide you want more of that flavoring in it. And if you do, don't hesitate to do what I do and add it. Usually I don't add that many raisins, but it didn't seem to be a lot tonight. I tend to not eat as much sweet foods as I used to. This first one I'm putting in, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. And this was a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then this is about 1/2 teaspoon. And this is sweet paprika, not hot, but sweet. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt, just a pinch. And I'm gonna put a pinch of cayenne, tiny bit of cayenne. Mine is very hot, so this is a small amount. I just put a little on my finger and put that in there, because my cayenne tends to be very hot. I'm gonna rinse my hand. Every one of those spices I just put in there have their own antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. There's very little in this salad that doesn't. We will go ahead and whisk that together and put it on our salad. I think for a change, my salad's gonna actually be ready before the brol. The grains and lentils are ready. I tend to be very slow, and so tonight I wanted to show you something quick that you could do. We'll go ahead and put that in there. I want to get all of that flavoring out of there. Put that in. It's not just all the flavoring. I mean, even cayenne, which is hot pepper, has such great antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. So we'll just go ahead and mix that up. Lots of people will want this salad on the sweeter side, and you can go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of honey. I find that it doesn't need it. The carrots have a little bit of sweetness, and the raisins, of course, and even the beets, they are uncooked, so they have a little bit of a sweetness to them that's really, really nice. And I kind of let those stand on their own for flavoring and sweetness. But some people will want that more sweet than what I have it. And so go ahead and add the honey. What I have found since I started eating whole foods, plant-based, no added oil, that's what's great also about this recipe. It doesn't have any added oils to it. And what I find though is that I tend to not like things as sweet. And I thought it was just me. For a while, I was the only one I knew that was like that. But recently, I've had several other clients also say the same thing, that they've noticed they don't have as much of a craving for sweets as they used to. And then I'm going to just put all my mint in here. This is mint, about 2 tablespoons. It's a wonderful flavor in here. What a pretty color on the top. I'm going to taste it. Sorry about this, guys, but I have to check. Not bad. This is better the next day. I'm going to eat it part today, part tomorrow. Serve it with beans, serve it with grains, something pretty hearty so that you can feel like you've had something substantial at the end of the meal. I'm going to add a little more lime. There we go. It's delicious when it has lime. So you can see this is one of those simple things you can start with for a quick, easy meal and not feel the least bit guilty about having any type of junk food. This is just packed with wonderful antioxidants.
That's it. One simple meal. You don't have to eat perfectly. You don't have to change everything this week. Maybe this is just one meal that you add to your routine. Little changes will add up. And if you're wondering what your own next step should be, we've made 2 free tools to help. One helps you see what your starting point is, and the other helps you decide what to do next. They're both waiting for you in the links below this video. We'll see you soon.